my old flashcards. And I have a box of these, and I swear there are a couple thousand note cards in here. So let's start with my general notes. Okay, Dornfelder is first of all, it's a grape variety grown in Germany. My question for you is, what is it a crossing of? That's right, Heffelsteiner and Erldrick. Alright, what two grape varieties is Chardonnay a natural crossing? Now this one is indigenous to France. I'll give you that hint. And yes, it's a crossing of Pinot and Gouais Blanc. Now name this grape. The crossing is Cabernet Franc and Magdalen Noir de Charente. Do you know it? Absolutely, it is Merlot. So, there's this thing called hilling. It is a common practice in Prince Edward County. Can you describe it? Great description, yes. Vines are buried under earth or covered with thermal blankets after harvest in order to insulate them and protect against the cold. Alright, now we're talking about barrel sizes. This is, what is the size of a Stück, a Doppelstück, and Halbstück, or Halbstück? That's right, Halbstück is, or Stuck, is 600 liters. Stuck is 1200, and Doppel is 2400 liters. That's one of my favorites. Who are the biggest consumers of sparkling wine per capita? Out of any country in the entire world, who are the largest consumers of sparkling wine per capita? And that would be the Germans. We already went over that. So, what almost single-handedly destroyed the image of German wine internationally? I think a lot of us know this. And there's one specific bottling that people still drink and all know about. And that is Liebfraumilch, the 1980s. It's a very, very sweet wine. This one, where is the Dry Creek Valley located? Dry Creek Valley. Yes, it is Sonoma, California, in the U.S. What about Clarksburg? Where is Clarksburg located? Another easy one if you are very into American wine. That is the Central Valley. Now, where were Australia's first vineyards located? The very first vineyards in Australia. I should say ones that were cultivated purposefully. It's in New What is the smallest wine region in Germany? That's right, the Saxon. Okay, so now we're talking about ice wine. What temperature must it reach to harvest ice wine? It has to get really, really cold. And they're oftentimes harvesting at night because of this. So what low temperature must it reach to harvest? That's right, -8 degrees Celsius. And that's because at this temperature, the water in the pulp becomes ice crystals, resulting in highly concentrated pressed juices. Because if it's warmer than that and they don't crystallize, then you're going to have less concentration of the sugars and aromatics in that pressed juice. Oh, okay, back to Australian wine again. Which Australian state is most famous for its sparkling wines? Oh, I wrote that really weird. Okay, let's skip that one. In what area would you find the Hunter Valley? That's right, New South Wales, Australia. There's a lot of Australia here. All right, how about this? What is diethylene glycol? So this one is a pretty big reason why Austria now has some of the most strict wine laws of any country. That's your hint. It was used in the antifreeze scandal, so it's a colorless and odorless poisonous chemical that was added to wines to make it cheaper to make, and it was pretty much caught because someone had in a winery been using it and tried to write it off as on their taxes. And then that's how people were found out to be using it. And now Austria has very, very strict wine laws. Here's another question about it. In what year did the antifreeze scandal surface? And that was in 1985. Again, a lot of these things are pretty new. There's the antifreeze in 1985 in Austria, the super, super, super sweet wines in Germany in the 80s as well. Some of these I did my exams and certifications years ago, so some of these questions are a little outdated. Okay, here's one. So what happened in Germany in the 1700s? Yeah, that was okay. What happened to the location of the vines in the 1700s of Germany? They had to move them. But what exactly happened to them? So they wanted to use the very fertile soils for planting other crops for food. So they took the vines and they moved them uphill, which we've now learned is actually really good for growing grapes or wine. So it's kind of funny. It's like we accidentally did that. We wanted that fertile soil for other things because we needed that for food. And okay, vines, wine, and just put them up the hill. And it turned out actually be really good for them. So that happened in the 1700s in Germany. Now, what is the name of German sparkling wine? Hint, it's the same thing in Austria. Sekt, that is correct. Yeah, so it's general, but this is all about Germany. Ooh, okay, so also when studying wine, if you want to be working as a sommelier in most places, you should also be fairly well versed in cocktails. So let's go over a couple cocktails and ingredients. Even though, yeah, you have to know these because you might be tested on them, even though you may almost never have a guest ask for it. So, what are the ingredients in a whiskey smash? I think this one's pretty easy. Yeah, whiskey, typically bourbon, lemon, mint, and simple. What are the ingredients of a gin rickey? Yep, London dry gin is the base, lime juice, and soda water. No one ever talks about that one. Oh, good one. Name the ingredients of a dark and stormy. It is rum. Do you know what kind of rum? Black seal rum and ginger beer with optional lime juice. Oh, here's one. I was actually asked this one in my one of my tests, exams that I took. What are the ingredients of a pink lady? This is another gin cocktail. So can you think of something that might make it pink? Yeah, it's London dry gin, grenadine, and egg whites. Really popular cocktail here. What are the ingredients of a pina colada? Yep, pineapple juice, cream of coconut, white rum, and a Mai Tai. This one has become kind of controversial. I've heard so many different recipes for it, of people kind of making it their own or honestly not knowing what it is. But we all agree that it is rum-based. Most of the time it's going to be some variation of like lime juice, curacao, and orgeat. Alright, back to wine. This is more of a general slash like tasting note. What is volatile acidity? Yeah. So it's the presence of acetic acid giving wine a vinegary aroma. And acetic acid is the main component in vinegar, which is vinegar is made from wine. It is produced in wine when the bacteria, Acidobacter, or certain wild yeasts, and oxygen are present during the fermentation process. Another tasting one. What is ethyl acetate? Or what does it smell like when it's in wine? I try to remember this just from, honestly, the word acetate. Yes, acetone, or it smells like nail polish remover. You know, strong that can be. So ethyl acetate forms from the reaction of ethanol and acetic acid, and then that's what creates that acetone kind of aroma coming through, and it's very strong. These are all mixed up. Here's a good one for you guys. Name the AVAs of Mendocino County. If you don't know, Mendocino County is in California in the US. So if you know that, can you name any? There's several AVAs there. Can you name maybe one or two of them for me? Yep. Anderson Valley, Colrage, Cavallo, Dos Rios, Eagle Point, Mendocino County, McDowell Valley. That one's really well known. Just regular Mendocino, Mendocino Ridge, Potter Valley, Redwood Valley, and Yorkville Highlands. Alright, how about another grape crossing? Do you know the parent grapes of Sylvaner? So it's Austrian origin, even though you see it, I feel like, a little bit more often in the market from sometimes Germany and a tiny bit in France, because there is a little bit in Alsace, which, I mean, makes sense because Alsace has its history of going back and forth of being under German rule and French rule, but it is Austrian in origin. And yes, Traminer is one of the parent grapes, and then Österreich Weiss is the other. Alright, how about Müller-Thurgau? This one of its parents, is a really well-known grape that people really love to hate. Yeah, Riesling. And the other is Madeleine Royale. Okay, here's a couple more cocktail ones. What are the ingredients of a fog cutter? It's a cocktail I've not seen in a long time. It has a lot in it. It has white rum, brandy, gin, lemon juice, orange juice, orgeat, and cream cherry. Whew. That's a lot. Alright, do we know? No, I've never had anyone order this. A cable car. It is spiced rum, orange curacao, lemon juice, and simple. This sounds very sweet. I also love knowing that the most expensive bottle that was on the Titanic when it sank was a Riesling. Alright, let's go through a couple other ones here. Those are my answers. It's so funny the way that I wrote some of these cards. I don't even know what I was asking myself. Okay. Here, how about Bordeaux? So in Bordeaux, We have the different growths of, for like classification of, its best wines, and Bordeaux is interesting. I'll do another video getting more into it, but a lot of us wine professionals have our opinions on it. But let's go through can you name a third growth of Saint-Estèphe? I'll give you a hint. There is only one. Chateau Gallensegur, yes. Great. And some of these are really funny. My older ones, I have a hard time reading my own handwriting because I would write all of these when I was working as a server. I would come home from work, and if you've ever worked as a server, you're getting home at 12, midnight, and I'm writing these and I'm getting really tired. It's like 2 a.m. I have half a drink glass of wine next to me, and I'm writing these, and my handwriting just gets so, because I'm tired and my hand is physically tired from doing so much writing, that I can't even read what some of these say. And a lot of, okay, I'm on my Austria ones here. We already went through that. More cocktails. Alright, what are the ingredients of a fallen angel? It's a gin-based cocktail with white creme de menthe, lemon juice, and Angostura bitters. Here's an easy one. What are the ingredients of a Bellini? It's Prosecco with white peach puree and raspberry puree. And today, most people are making them. If they make a Bellini, they just pick one fruit kind of puree to just mix with Prosecco in a glass. And that's their Bellinis today. Alright, what is the base spirit of a 4th Regiment, Algonquin, Boothby cocktail, and Brooklyn cocktail? They all have the same base spirit. It's rye, but a Boothby can actually be any American whiskey. Alright, do we know? We just went over this. What is the base spirit of a pina colada, mojito, and a fog cutter? That's white, right? It is white rum. Now, we haven't gone over any of these cocktails yet, but let's see if you know the base spirit of a Cape Codder, a Godmother, a Harvey Wallbanger, and a Kamikaze. Vodka. Yep. Oh, I wonder if you know this one. This one's asking about the base spirit of an Abbey cocktail, an Aviation, Bee's Knees, Bijou, and Boston cocktail. And that is gin and Aviation, specifically London Dry Gin. Now, one of my favorite cocktails is a Bijou. Pretty much no one ever orders it, but I love it, and I want to know if you know. Can you tell me? Hey, I'm interested. I'm a guest at your restaurant. Hey, I heard someone talking about a Bijou. I've never heard of it. I don't know what that is. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What's in it? So remember, you know that gin is the base. So you can tell me that there's gin in it, and I know you've been studying, so mention different jewels like a ruby, emerald, and a diamond. I'll get that in my head, and that's, my gin is the diamond, chartreuse is the emerald, and then the sweet vermouth is the ruby. Alright, now with winemaking, do you know what cold stabilization is? Or why we might use it? Yeah, it is a process that causes the tartrate crystals to precipitate out of the wine at a pretty low temperature. It's about 25 degrees Fahrenheit. What about what is acidification? Right, it is the addition of an acid to the wine, to the must. Do you know exactly what type of acid we use for that? Because we don't use just any. It is the addition of tartaric acid to increase the acidity of the must to achieve improved balance in the resulting wine. And now so we have acidification, and then there's also chaptalization, which is named after Jean-Antoine Chaptal, and that is the addition of sugar to the must. Now,